Hey people, thanks for watching. Today I'm going to do a diesel purge on this 3.2. You can add this straight to the fuel tank, but I'm going to do something a little bit different, and we're actually going to run the engine directly on this product, and it'll give those injectors a really good flush. This costs around 20-25 bucks. You're going to need some hosing, again about 10 bucks. So for $35, this is a really good bang for your buck clean of your injectors. Let's go through the steps. Now these engines are fitted with an electric low pressure fuel pump that brings the fuel up to our filter here. We want to disconnect that pump, so the easiest way to do that is just taking out the relay or the fuse. Now I happen to know on this one that it is number 40, so it's this one here. Double check your model, there's probably been some revisions over the years. This is a 2016, number 40 in this here is my fuel pump relay. So we're going to pull that one out, which means our low pressure fuel pump is no longer pumping fuel to here. If yours is the model that has this cover fitted, you're going to need to remove it. Once the cover's removed, there's two particular lines that we're looking for, and it's these ones here. So this is a feed line that feeds down into the high pressure pump. So we're going to want to access this one. And also this one here is a return line that comes from the injectors, and any additional pressure from the fuel pump is also bled off here as well. So we're interested in these two. We need to open these up. You may drip a little bit of diesel as you pull them out. Okay, so we've got them both opened up here. Now you will notice this one is a little bit bigger than this one. So I've got two different size fuel lines that I use here. One's a little bit bigger than the other. This one is a 5/16. This one is a 1/4 inch. Now the bigger one fits nicely over the plastic fitting here for the inlet. So just carefully press that on. You're not going to have any great amount of high pressure here, so it just fits neatly on there. And the smaller one can fit onto the back here. We'll just lay that neatly. We just sit those there like that. Now you can put these two pipes straight into this container here. The problem with that is you can't see how much is left, and you don't want it to run dry. So I like just to grab a plastic bottle like this that's clear. Because these two hoses don't fit in the top, we've just got to put a new top on it. So with our bottle dry and clean, I'm just going to pour this product in. Now we can clearly see how much of this we have left. Now I find a really convenient place to sit this is just in here, because obviously with the engine running, there's going to be a bit of movement and you don't want this to tip over. These two lines will fit into here, and we'll start it up. So just to remind you what we've got going here, this heads down to the high pressure pump. So it's going to draw in this cleaning fluid from there. This is the excess that comes off. Now there might be a little bit of hesitation or spluttering as we get a few air bubbles through here, but that's not going to be an issue. Now it's not going to be running entirely on this product, because there is obviously diesel in the pump, in all the injector rails, things like that. So it's probably going to be about a 50-50 mix. Just going to sit this somewhere so it's a little bit better for you to see on camera, and we'll start up the engine. This will change colour because obviously it's going to get a little bit of diesel mixed in with it, and we'll see some bubbling and things like that. So let's start it up and watch what happens. We've got a little bit of bubbling while the air just sort of gets purged out of these lines. But in the next few minutes, the engine's going to be starting to run on this fluid. Now we're going to vary the engine revs a little bit. This is probably going to take about 10 minutes to use this volume of fluid. Don't race the engine too much. Don't put it under too much load, but I'm going to vary the revs a little bit, and use this fluid up. Okay, so I've turned mine off. We're about halfway through. I like just to let this product sit in the fuel injector system for a little while, just to really soak in there and clean out any impurities. We're now going to start it back up, and we're going to run this down, not till it's completely empty, because we definitely don't want to run it dry, but we want to just get close. So we'll start it up and do the last few minutes. Obviously, while this process is going, we just want to make sure that these hoses aren't leaking anywhere. So just double check that a few times, because it was only just a press fit onto those plastic fittings. Okay, this level is starting to get a little bit low for me now, so I'm going to shut the engine off. Okay, so again, you don't want this to run out. Just be aware also that these do start to get quite warm, because they are just circulating and they don't really get the chance to sort of go back to the tank and fresh fuel to come in and cool down. So that's another reason why I like just to stop it halfway through, just so it doesn't get too hot. Next thing we want to do is remove these fuel lines. Just be aware as you remove them that you're potentially going to leak a little bit. So I like just to kind of have my finger ready. So I pull it up, and we've only dropped a little bit, and then sort of run that back into the container. Same with this one, just kind of get your finger ready just to put over there, just so we don't make a mess. And we'll connect these back up. Make sure that they're fully located down and clipped across. This one has, and I didn't show it before, but that gets locked in once it's on the pipe. So push that back on, and that little metal clip slides back in. So no matter how careful you are going to spill a little bit of that diesel, so I just want to kind of wash that off there, just so it doesn't smell. With the little bit that we have left over, I like just to put that back into the fuel tank, and it can just do some more cleaning from there. The easiest way to do that is just to get it back into the original container. And the reason being is that the original container came with a nice funnel just to pour into the fuel tank. We also need to put the relay back in place and cover this back up. Now I'm going to start it back up. I haven't put the cover back on yet. I just want to double check that I've got no leaks from where I've just unplugged those pipes. But we're going to start it up and just let it run for a few minutes. Again, you might have one or two little air bubbles in there, so you might get the odd splutter, but nothing to worry about. Now once I've started this back up, I've just heard a little bit of air and bubbles circulate back through this filter. That's completely normal, but I've got no leaks or anything, so I'm going to put my cover back on. Hey, you just come back from a drive. Engine's running really nicely. There's obviously no hesitation. It's running nice and smooth. So look, it's a fantastic investment. Takes tops about 30 minutes to do. Costs about 30 bucks, and I can't recommend it enough. So any comments or questions, make sure you leave them below, and I'll see you in the next video.